Hi, good evening everyone. I've been asked to talk about negotiations, influence, and that's what I do for a living. That's what I teach at the Indian School of Business. I was also required to basically tie my topic to leadership. So, I'm going to start off by, narrating a very, very important and a very funny incident that brought me to India. So I'm a Singaporean by virtue of birth. I was evaluated, I was invited to the Indian School of Business in the year 2004. So, everyone, seriously, most of my students, some of my students are sitting here, they call me a visionary, right? And, who doesn't like taking credit, right? So I tell everyone, yes, I'm a visionary. But I ask them, why? Why do you think I'm a visionary? Just because you could see ISB's growth, right? Back in 2004, ISB was a startup institution, right? And you being a Singaporean, when the entire of India wanted to move out from India to look for greener pastures abroad, you being a Singaporean, you had the vision to see ISB's growth, and henceforth, you took this plunge of faith and you joined the Indian School of Business. Sir, you are a true visionary because you could see this growth. And I say, yes, I am. But here's the internal scoop, right? I'm not a visionary, by the way. What brought me to India? What brought me to India was a failed negotiation between me and my wife. That's it. Alright, so my wife, she's from Pune, and we've been married for almost 6 years when I received this invite, and she was trying to influence me. She was trying to negotiate with me. She was being very persistent, and she says, you know what, why not go back to India? It's good for your career. I said, yeah, I know how good it is for my career, right? But, I told her, look, enough of pushing and pestering. I know what is good for my career, and we are not going to go to India. So please stop pushing me. And she backpedaled for a while, and I felt good winning over my wife because I rarely get a chance to win over her, right? So, but my joy lasted only for 2 days because 2 days later, my father called me up in his room, and he says, "Beta, what is this ISB?" And I said, "Dad, how did you know what ISB is? It's between me and my wife, right?" And the way my wife told this story to my father, Indian School of Business, she told my dad that the government of India wants a son. Because it's Indian School of Business, right? So my dad says, India wants you, the government of India wants you, so you have to go and serve our nation. I said, yeah, right? But, I kept trying to convince my dad that, this is just a hoax. My wife is just lying to you, but you wouldn't believe me. All right? So, that actually brought me to India. But this episode here, between me, my wife, and my father, taught me a very, very important nugget of knowledge where influence is concerned, right? What she taught me, in fact, my wife has been my first teacher where negotiation and influence is concerned. What she taught me is channel of influence matter. When we want to get to yes, when we want to get past no, it's not only important for us to frame our message. It's not only important for us to think about the delivery, but it's also very important for us to identify who will deliver the message. So channel of influence matters a lot. And I'm going to share 4 cleansing moments with all of you where leadership is concerned. Because as leaders, we always think, I'm going to be doing the talking. But you fail to realize you can be more effective when your allies do the talking. When daughter wants to go for a birthday party, for example, and a strict father who loves daughter very much tells daughter, curfew period. You cannot go out after 10 p.m. But daughter really wants to go for the party. She wants daddy's permission. Would she directly speak to daddy? Not at all. She identifies an ally called mommy. Isn't it? And she lets mommy do the talking for her. And when mommy does the talking, chances are much more higher daddy saying yes. Alright, so I think the first cleansing moment for us as leaders here is to identify channel of influence. So 70% of the time, you don't do the talking, your allies should be doing the talking for you. Alright, so that's the first mantra in negotiation leadership. Now, in the corporate world, we always talk about getting win-win outcomes. When I teach my class on negotiations at the ISB, the first topic that we talk about is win-win. Negotiation, influence, it has to be win-win. Alright, without even realizing what win-win is. Alright, so I always use this very simple story. I always ask my participants, imagine you have 2 daughters, and they enter your kitchen, and you have only one orange. They both fight for the orange, and they can't make up their want to you as parents, it's a leadership call now. Justice has to prevail. Your daughters are crying. Younger one says, look, I want it. Elder one says, look, I want it. What will you do? And most of my participants say, I'll slice it into half. And why? Because this is win-win. It is equitable, it is fair. I said, then do you do the same thing with the suppliers? Because you tell our suppliers, you know what, we have a relationship, isn't it? But what kind of relationships are you sharing with the suppliers? Where the supplier is concerned, I want to take everything. You know, I'm not going to share half with you. There's a big disconnect between what we aspire, big connection between our intentions and our behavior. We use the word win-win all the time, but our behavior does not translate to win-win. Our behavior translates to win-lose. Right? So what is win-win here? So I ask my students, what will you do? They'll say half-half. I'll say, what else? Some of them will say, you know what, I will give my younger daughter a larger piece and the elder daughter a smaller piece. I'll ask them, why? Why smaller piece to the elder daughter? Because she's older, she has to understand. Right? That is another leadership thing in my opinion. We always take advantage of our good people. Right? We always have quiet, hard-working individuals within our organization, and we have squeaky wheels within our organization. Who gets the largest share of the bargaining pie? The squeaky wheels, isn't it? That's another leadership failure, in my opinion. Alright? So please remember, we have to identify our Kohinoors within our system, our good employees, and not take advantage of them. Alright? Then I ask them, anyone else? Any other perspective? We have a half-half, we have a three-quarter, one-quarter. What else would you do? Then we have one person saying, you know what, I will eat the orange. I like my daughters watch me. I say, great. We have some sadistic people as well. Alright. Now, but none of my participants will tell me, I will first ask my daughter, why you want the orange? Alright? So in our pursuit to create value, we always ask what you want. But we never ever ask why you want it. And that is a fatal flaw in my opinion. Alright, so when you ask daughter what you want, I want orange. And that's it, the buck stops there, so you slice it half. But if you ask them why you want the orange, probably your younger daughter would say, I want the orange because I'm hungry. And the elder daughter would say, I want the orange because I'm baking an orange cake and I need the peel of the orange. The needs are very, very different. If you take that trouble to ask why, you can sell value, you can create value, but this is something that we never do in our day-to-day negotiations. Alright, so that's cleansing moment number 2 for all of us. As negotiators, as leaders, we will need to develop the habit of asking why and not stop at what. Right? Now, how else can we create value? Now, we can create value by being a good listener. Now, I would like all of you to cross your heart and tell me the truth. How many of you think that you are good listeners? Alright? And that is, again, another cleansing moment for all of us. As leaders, we need to talk less, we need to listen more. But what we end up doing? We talk more and we listen less. Alright? And then say, look, I know what's happening. How can you know what's happening when you're talking all the time? Stop talking and listen more. Now, why can we not listen? Why are we not habituated to listening? Alright? It's because we like to pretend to be busy. Let me ask all of you a very simple question. How many meetings do you have on a daily basis? 15 meetings? 10 meetings? If this deal is great, alright? And that's leadership in my opinion. Alright? But we have outliers out here. And most of us out here, we get cheap thrills saying, you know, my calendar is cluttered. Alright? If you know, if you want, you can clear up your calendar, but we just like to pretend to be busy. So now, just imagine, if your entire day is filled with 15 meetings, 10 meetings for example, if you are entering meeting number 4, you are thinking about meetings 2 and 3. Half of your mind is thinking about 2 and 3, and half of your mind is thinking about 5 and 6. You are living in the past and future, not present. Alright? So that way, because your calendar is cluttered, you can't do justice to listening. Alright? So I would recommend empower. And we have people reporting to us, then why don't we empower? Some of my participants tell me that, you know what, they're not competent enough, or I don't trust them enough. Then remove them. then move them to other divisions. You have people reporting to you, then jolly well empower. Alright, so a failure to empower, in my opinion, is a deadly disease. We like to get, stuck up in operational issues. Alright, so please empower enough. Alright, please clear your clutter. And more importantly, why are we unable to do justice to listening? It's because we are always distracted. Alright? This device out here, I can't find my device. This device out here, I don't call it a phone. I call this a predatory animal. Why? Because every minute this thing is glowing, isn't it? So when you're speaking to a supplier, when you're speaking to a parent, when you're speaking to someone, you say, I'm respecting you, this is on silent mode. But this is upward facing, and every second this is glowing, isn't it? And now when this is glowing and the other party is making an important point, you just can't resist, you just look. Oh, my 100 points from Louis Philippe twice. And then you miss a very, very important point. Alright, from the supplier, whoever you're listening to. So please remember, remove distractions. Alright? A good leader is someone who remains focused. We are a sum total of what we pay attention to, please remember. Alright? And most of the time we are losing that focus because of a lot of interruptions. Alright? That is a second cleansing moment, in my opinion, for leaders in this generation. I think a third cleansing moment for us as leaders is to realize that we are extremely fortunate. Let me share some latest research statistics with all of you. If your salary is more than $36,000 per annum, you are amongst the top 1 percentile in this entire universe. Did you know that? Right? So if our salary is more than 36,000, which is around maybe 25 lakhs, 27 lakhs, whatever exchange you take, you are amongst the top 1 percentile. Do you have the license to crib? And look at us. Will there be a day that has gone by when we never crib? Alright, so embracing gratitude. So we can be aspirational, we shoot for the stars, but you know what, if you don't get it, it's fine. At least you try. Don't be hard on yourself, because as you step back, you realize that you are very, very fortunate. Now I'm just going to make my one last point here. A good leader is someone who emits positivity. If I ask you to reflect over the past 3 months, what was that one moment that gave you the ultimate joy? What was that one moment that gave you that blissful experience, the heavenly experience? I'm sure it is reading my novel by the poolside, having my karak chai and vada pav by the street, having that quiet moment with my spouse. So in pursuit of happiness, we are losing out. We are really losing out on simple things in life that truly gives us that happiness. I thought by throwing money I can buy happiness for my son. Recently my son celebrated his birthday. I booked a cinema hall, got 300 kids for private viewing, then brought them in a chartered bus to a most expensive restaurant in Hyderabad, and then bought very expensive takeaway gifts. That night I asked my son, Jay, are you happy? Are you delighted? He says, Dad, this is one of the best days of my life. I said, I'm just curious. In this entire day, what was the aha moment for you? You know what he said? I thought it would be the takeaway gifts, the show-off types, right? Or the cinema hall. He said, Dad, this morning, when you held my hands, when you hugged me, and when you said happy birthday, Peter, that was a happy moment. I said, Pehle bol dete. Right? So please, infuse that small moments that keep you smiling, because if you smile, your employees will smile, people around you will smile, and you spread positivity. Thank you very much.
A couple of our speakers have left because they had to proceed, but we have the privilege of having Professor Kamdar here with us. So may I please invite him, as well as the Managing Director of Marks & Spencer, Nair,